Alrighty. We'll wait a little while longer to see if anyone else wants to hop in. Amir, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great, doing great.
Dude,
Thanks for
what's up,
having me
guys?
on.
Hold on, Jimmy.
Oh, that
I'm gonna
was
turn
me.
off my camera, but said I'd say hi
Oh, thanks, dude.
What's up,
Kind of
Summer?
you for hopping on.
for sure. For Amir, I definitely want to hear this.
Of course, dude.
I appreciate
Yeah, we
that.
don't we don't really get to talk a lot about his story. Dude, Dennis, where you at, man?
At Monte Cristo in the Gulch Cigar Lounge.
Dude, why didn't I get the invite? I love cigars.
Oh, it's good to know. Yeah.
I'm a huge cigar guy, dude. I go, I
Oh, yeah.
go, I could go every day, but I have to limit myself. So I go twice a week. I go on Wednesdays and Saturdays. It's like
Oh,
my
man, you got me
my
beat. Where
day.
you go?
Oh, dude, I used to go to Smoker's Abbey over in the East.
Man,
Really
I
liked
keep hearing
it.
about that place. I need to check it out.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. And now
Okay.
I go to a place called Single Malt, which is
Oh,
awesome. Have you been there?
I'm right. No, where's that at?
Dude, we're going.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go to Single Malt. It's so nice, bro. Like they'll come
Yes.
over, they'll bring you drinks, like you can just chill. I always show Amir like when I'm there because like they have just these nice, really nice lounge chairs. Like it's a great vibe overall.
Oh, yeah. Speaking
Really
the
cool people
language. Let's
there.
go. Yeah.
And they have the best selection too. Like they probably have 200 different cigars in their lounge. Like it's like
Jeez.
they have
Wow.
everything. So yeah, my favorite dude. I had a Padron. It was like a 1926, I think. Dude, it was so good. Best cigar I've ever had. So
Yeah.
come on, man.
Oh, yeah. We
Let me
definitely
know
will.
when we'll make it happen. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get a mirror down here, man. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Cool. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. So, Amir, thank you for taking the time to do this. So, for anybody
Absolutely.
that doesn't, for anybody that doesn't know Amir, I'll let him share, his background, but I'll just kind of speak from the heart for a second. Amir is, in my opinion, he's like one of the biggest parts of our team. He's the glue that has kept us together for a long time. He does so many things behind the scenes that like none of y'all would ever see or know. Probably even things I wouldn't even know, to be honest, because he doesn't try to take credit for things. He never complains. Like this dude stays up 4 or 5 a.m. calling agents. So it's like if you want to know someone that's committed to the business and has now finally seen the fruits of that, like Amir is a great example of that. So he's a brother to me. Hopefully one day I get to meet you in person. That'd be awesome.
Likewise.
Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, so Amir, maybe just for everyone here, I think it would be helpful if you kind of shared a little bit about like where you're from or like where you are now at least. Like how did we start working together and like how did you actually get started, I guess, doing deals in a country that you've never even been to?
I'm okay. Thank you, though.
Yeah. So I guess to that point, that first of all, thanks for having me on. Happy to be here, share as much as I can, answer as many questions as I can. But it's like 3 a.m. now. And it is usually my day. Like it just starts at like 4 or 5 p.m. And then it's kind of like I'm kind of like up till 4 or 5 a.m. That's been pretty much my schedule for the past like 2 3 years. And I kind of got used to it. Uh but yeah, a lot of challenges that probably uh not a lot of people would face, especially the people who are doing this business or who is actually thinking about doing it. As I am in the Middle East, here in Armenia as of now, we've got like 9 hours difference in time zones with Central Time. Um, what else? I had a lot of like challenges and fears that I had to overcome. Still to this day, like I don't have a bank account to my name. I don't have a number to my name. I'm not able to fly to US. None of that, like probably all the basic things that y'all may have, and y'all may think that that is really basic, and nobody like cares about it. those are the things that I've been really really like fighting with, and it's to this day that it at least has been like challenging to me. So
Wait, hold up. Before
uh,
you go any further, aren't you supposed to like start your LLC before you do anything? What in the world? I thought you're supposed to have your LLC written up and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's what I hear from other people. They're like, I can't take any action. I don't have my LLC yet. So how'd you do that?
yeah. So like things, basic things like that. Like I don't have a number to my name. Like during the very early days, I was like, when I'm calling these people, what is really going to happen? Like, what am I gonna say? Where am I from? Where I'm calling from? What is it really like popping up on their phone? I didn't even know that. Like, I had to try to do that and then kind of like figure it out along the way. And at the time, there was not a lot of like, there was probably nobody around me who was doing that. And at the same time, I was trying to study English, learn real estate at the same time. So it's been a journey for sure.
Love it.
And still to this day, there are some basic things that I'm trying to uh, that I'm actually dealing with. But uh,
Yeah.
for whoever is listening to this, if y'all are here live or if you're listening to the recording, uh, y'all don't have any excuses. Like I don't I don't buy that. Like if y'all have any like excuses and y'all are not doing this, please,
Mm. Yeah.
you
I love
gotta
it,
you
dude.
gotta do the work for
Dude,
sure.
you speak it more direct than I do for sure. I'm a softie. I love it. We probably need some of that. I mean, what did you think about like when you first like heard about, I don't know, like the concept of wholesaling real estate, like virtually, for example? Like, did you believe it was like possible for someone like that's in your position, like where you are?
Yeah, so it's a good question because in the very beginning I was thinking about like which market should I choose, and then I was like, does that really matter? I'm that far, it doesn't really matter which state should I pick. So I
Right.
might just as well go, find something randomly and just start, doing something.
Hmm.
uh but it was really challenging because I would see uh like even the YouTube videos that I kind of like learned real estate from. It wasn't really for me. Like it was basically for the people who were in the US or Canada or possibly like very rarely in Europe. And you would hear people, for example, like you start doing this and within 30 days. And to by the way, just to be clear on this, I'm not trying to be direct or discouraging. It took me a long time. Like it wasn't like a 30-day, like you would watch a YouTube video and then you would get a deal within 30 days, $10,000 check in your pocket. No, that didn't happen for me at least. Uh,
Mm-mm.
and 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 y'all like it doesn't happen to everybody. Like that's just the wrong expectations. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yep.
uh
How long have you
but
been
yeah,
doing
like
this?
as far as like um doing it virtually, it didn't, like I was that far, it didn't really matter to me. I was like, I'm either able to do this or not. Like it doesn't
Okay.
really matter because it's not really, I
Yeah.
don't have really, any kind of feeling about it.
Right. One, how long have we been working together? Roughly.
It's been 4 years, I guess.
Yeah. Long time. And when we first started working together, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but you definitely didn't speak as good of English as you do now.
For sure.
Um, so
100%.
even learning the language of English and
Mm-hmm.
learning the culture and like how when someone says something, what do they actually mean over here versus what they mean where you are? Like learning all of those things, you had those challenges too. Like what was learning all that like?
Yeah, I have a funny story on that. So I remember cold calling people and sellers, and by the way, I was really stressed during those like early days. It was probably my first time talking on the phone with a foreigner, and at the same time trying to like talk to the seller and buy their property from other side of the planet, and not knowing what's gonna happen next, all of that. But I have a funny story. I remember once I called this seller, and he was like, hang on, I'm at Walmart. Let me call you back. And then I remember I was Googling up what Walmart is. I didn't know what Walmart is. So it's kind of like
That's great.
learning a new language is not only like vocabularies and grammar. You gotta like learn the culture, learn a lot of the stuff that comes with it. It's just not only like a few words or just being able to talk.
Mm, that's good, dude. That's really good. So I think one of the reasons why people showed up tonight and wanna hear what you have to say is one of the things that I think we could talk about is like obviously right now you're in charge of our agent outreach. So everything is working with agents, having them bring you off market listings or even deals that maybe are on the market at a deep discount. And I think there's like two sides to the business, right? There's like direct to seller and then there's like direct agent, right? Or maybe
Absolutely.
there's a third, which is like referrals from investors and title companies and inspectors and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But either way, there's kind of those two main ones that you can do directly and get good results quickly. So can you talk a little bit about, and just for reference, like Amir has 3 or 4 contracts like at the moment. Like usually at this point we got 3 or 4 at a time. So like it's pretty good business. Like if you had 3 or 4 contracts going in for that you could make 5, 10, $15,000 on each deal, like would you be happy with those results? Right? Like for me, I would. I'm sure Amir is. And so I think we all can learn something from this, right? And so with Amir, can you tell us a little bit about like what the process of like talking to an agent looks like and like how do you build trust with these agents?
Okay. That's a good question. So with agents, what I've seen the most is that at some point they had a so it really depends if you're trying to talk to the agents from the angle of like wholesaling the properties, or are you really the end buyer, the end cash buyer, right? Because I used to do that by my own during like in the early days, and I didn't have a lot of experience. uh I hadn't bought a property myself, and it was like all no experience, no nothing, just straight wholesaling. But with agents, I think they would really want to know if you're a wholesaler or not, or if you've had some sort of connections. I'm sorry, if you've had some sort of experience as far as buying a property cash or not. That's why you'll see a lot of them, almost all of them, will ask you for a proof of fund for $1,000 for 1% EMD, during the inspection, even if it's like refundable. That doesn't happen with sellers. I mean, you don't get to. They don't really. Not a lot of sellers would really know what EMD is, right? But that's a must. That's a must with agents, and it's okay if you're trying to start, or I guess if you're trying to wholesale all of these deals. But I would really suggest that at least get build relationship with a cash buyer, to where you can text back and forth. You can get insights on the numbers, all of that, and you can actually show proof of funds from that cash buyer, even if you're going to wholesale it. So
Mm,
that definitely differentiates you from the other wholesalers who are reaching out to the agents, for sure.
that's a gem, dude.
If
That's a
if
gem.
you're a cash buyer, then it's just way easier.
Hey, and all the reason why like everyone in this group, if you're taking notes, you should write that down what he just said. You need to have 1 or 2 solid buyers that you know that you trust that you could send a deal to and you know they're not going to try to snake you out of it. Because we have people that we send deals to, like, and we've done I don't know how many deals in the last few years, 120 plus together, like as a team. So it's like we've done enough to where like I know how to value a property. He knows how to value a property. So it's like we're not stupid, right? But we still send these deals out to these buyers to see where they're at because they may be seeing something different that we do, and we're still human and we miss things. And so I think if you have these people, you can send stuff real quick. It's like, hey, I think we could probably get it around this range. Where do you need to be? And some of them will say, hey, we're super far off. Like I need it way cheaper. It's like, okay, cool. And then we negotiate from there, right? So now you're not making an offer that doesn't really work, right? Or we had this happen, the one that we just closed today, Amir. I don't know if you remember
Abbas,
that with Tavis. Yeah. So it was an agent that reached out, and we looked at their asking price, and we're kind of like, I think it's too tight. I don't think we can make this work. But then we were like, hey, let's just send it out to our buyer that we work with. So we sent it to him, and he was like, hey, I'll pay. And it was like 20 grand more than what they wanted. And we were just gonna like just throw it away. We were just gonna like, oh, we can't do anything. So that would have been a $20,000 mistake, is what I'm trying to say, by not taking a year's advice. So write that down. Yeah,
for sure.
pretty powerful,
Yeah.
man, for sure. So now, since this is a group about creative finance to some degree, you've pitched creative, you've pitched sub two. We started out doing that with agents, right? Can you talk a little bit about like your experience pitching creative with agents versus maybe making cash offers?
For sure. So, like and a step probably prior to that would be whenever y'all get a lead, I would definitely look at the price history and make sure that it wasn't sold like probably after June of 2022, because that was the time that, rates started getting crazy. And even if you were to like buy those properties subject to it, wouldn't really make sense. So whenever I get something, I would try to filter that out. The very first step is that. And if it's sold prior to that, then the other question is that, is it a no equity or do they have some equity? So, and I always try to make a cash offer, even though if I know that it is going to be a subject to deal and my offer is going to be lower than what they owe. And the reason for that is that I don't want to pitch creative like right off the bat. I always want them to say no to that so that I can pitch sub two or creative finance, the seller finance. So I always make a cash offer. If it's a sub two, more than likely it's a no, and then I would pitch sub two. If it's not, it's either free and clear, or they have somewhat left on the mortgage and they have somewhat equity, which would be a hybrid deal. So yeah, it's either one of those.
Break that down real quick. So we have basically four different ways that we could buy houses from these agents.
Yeah.
One is cash. Two, ironically, is sub two.
Subject to.
Three would be seller finance. So like
Mm-hmm.
they have no mortgage on the property. You're asking them to be your bank. Four is a mix between sub two and seller finance. That's what we call a hybrid. Okay. So those are kind of the four different categories that I would break it up based off what Amir is saying. Right. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
why do we make a cash offer first? Like, because this may be confusing for some people here because I'm the one that always talks about not making offers. Right. So it's like when we talk to sellers, it's a different conversation than when we talk to agents because you're playing
yeah,
telephone, right? You're making an offer and the agent has to go to their client and then explain it. So like, can you talk a little bit about that?
for sure. Because, and this is not all the agents, because I know that there are some agents out there that who educated themselves on seller financing and all of that. But for the majority of them, they're like, we wanna like cash offer, just a regular sale, a number that we can put on the purchase and sell agreement. Just bring me an offer. And then you can't really talk to them without making an offer. So you have to kind of like even play dumb a little bit and just make that cash offer
Yeah.
just for the sake of it, just to get the no. And then
Hmm.
at that point, they don't have any excuse not listening to you or not, being open to other options.
Hmm.
So that
That's right.
that's probably why.
Yeah. Did anybody not understand when Amir was talking about looking at the sales history, like when they bought the property? Did that make sense to everyone? Like, was that ultra clear, or was there some confusion on that? I just want to make sure because that's something that we use in our business and we filter out like very consistently across like every lead that we get. So like what he just said is like a part of the sauce for sure because like if you're not filtering that out, you're going to be wasting a lot of time with people that have purchased past like June of 2022. So like 2023, 2024, 2025 that have no equity and they have an interest rate that is not favorable. So you want to kind of cut it off there. So if I see someone like an agent send me something, immediately if they like, hey, I think it's a sub two deal, immediately I'm going to price history. I'm not even gonna have a conversation. I'm going to price history. I'm gonna look. Oh, it's 2024. Immediately, I know it's a pretty crappy rate, most likely, right? And then I'm gonna look at there. It's like, okay, this has to be in like a pristine area for me to even look at this photo. Like, is this on Broadway? Like, I had someone actually send me one today. It's like downtown, and I was like, okay, I'll take a look at it. Like that kind of thing. Um, Amir, share maybe like what's like your favorite deal that we've ever done together, and like why does it stick with you?
Um,
Putting you
I
on the
think it's
spot.
the one. I think it's the one that we did in Burns with Summer as well. Uh,
Mm,
that
yeah.
was a really good one. Uh, that was an on-market property sitting on the market, just sitting there for a while. It was probably at the time 80, 90 days. I'm not sure. But the agent reached out to us saying that, hey, so they initially had the property at 600,000. The moment that she actually at the time she got to us, she said that they just dropped the price for by $100,000 and they were at $500,000. And the agent, they're kind of not allowed to tell you about the seller's bottom dollar, but they were like, she was like, if y'all make a reasonable offer, for example, in low 400s, something like that, they might take it. You know, so we did make an offer on it. It was actually in high 300s. It got accepted, and we sold it for 40,000 ish assignment. A property that is, how amazing is that? Like a property that is on the
Crazy.
market, sitting there, and probably because they don't have any offers on it. And Summer helped
Yeah.
us a lot with selling the
Hmm.
property for sure.
For sure. Yeah, if you're in Middle Tennessee, you need to connect with Summer. He's great. He can sell anything that you have in Middle Tennessee. Um,
I appreciate you
uh,
guys.
dude, for sure, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Maybe, Amir, maybe share like what we're just. I have a couple more questions for you. Like, what do you feel like has been some of your biggest like failures or mistakes that you made like early on, and like what did you learn from that?
I would say one of the things that could have helped me along the way was that if I were to like start all over again without knowing any of this, without having any experience, I would try to find someone who's experienced enough, who's done this before, who's at least where I am trying to be, and I would just start working free for them, honestly. Just to get the experience, just to um, you know, learn the ins and outs. You would be amazed how much you can learn from just doing it. Because to one point, like you can just only watch YouTube videos, learning from mentors, all of that to one point, and then after that, you need to take action. And there's nothing really that can teach you more than just doing the job. And I would honestly like just do that for free. That's gonna help you all a lot. It's
Dude,
it's
that's
just
so good.
it's just invaluable.
Yeah. That's so good. And that may mean working for someone. That may mean just saying, hey, I'll partner with you on my first two, three deals. It could be that too,
Yeah.
right? And so I think like we all probably know somebody that is experienced that could help you on your first deal. Amir and I are one of them, right? Like we'd be happy to help too, but you probably already know somebody in your circle that could, right? So don't be afraid to ask for help. Like I can't tell you how many times man, even last night I went to was this last night? No, Monday night. Went to the rent event and I immediately go, I see the table of the people that I know are like top dogs in the room. I go plop a chair right there at the table. I'm like, I'm sitting here whether you want me to or not, you know? And I'm just talking to all of them. I'm like, what's going on? Right. And I think there's someone in here that was actually there. Jared, maybe?
Hey, yeah, I was there.
What's up, dude? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Um, it's like that's the table I told you, like that's the table to be at. Right. And so it's like we always want to be in a place where we're learning. Because these are people that have done 100 times what we've done as a team. And so anytime you can get help even in that fashion, like take it because people want to help. That's the cool thing about real estate is like most of these people really want to help. And so like we would be stupid to not ask for it. Like the dumbest thing in the world. Like why would you not ask? I can't think of any reason. So I think that's really good, Amir.
And you would be amazed how many of those people would really want to help you.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
think y'all probably think that they would say no right off the bat. They're just so busy. But y'all would be amazed how many of those people would genuinely would like to like help y'all.
yeah, yeah. They've already made it. It's like what else are they gonna do with their life? Make more money? It's like at some point, like people like get tired of that and they like want to like actually have some meaning in their life and like give back, right? So Amir, I mean, I know you've had some hard times. Like it hasn't all been easy. Like there's been times where you went months without getting a deal, right?
Mhm.
So was there ever like a moment for you that maybe you like were kind of doubting yourself or like you almost walked away from doing real estate? Like how have you kind of kept yourself in it during those times?
Oh, a few times. I think after you get your first deal, there's something mentally that changes, and in your mind, and you're like, I've done it before, so I can do it again. But and you may have heard this. They're saying that like your 10th deal is 100 times easier than your first deal, and then your 100th deal is like 100 times or 1,000 times easier than the 10th one. So it's always, I think prior to that is a little bit difficult getting your first deal. I was almost about to kind of like quit maybe, but if y'all don't have a plan B, because it works. Like if y'all really think about it, if you do it enough, put in the work, it eventually pays off. Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm a human too. I had a lot of tough times, and I just kind of like put my head down, put in the work. You know, it was tough for sure. Not saying that it was like it wasn't tough and anything like that, but it'll pay off for sure.
Was it worth it?
It definitely worth it. Took me a long
Why?
time, but yeah.
Why was it
What?
worth it?
uh, that's a tough question.
Because I doubt it's just about the money.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying I doubt it's just about the money. Like the money's good, but like what else? Like why else was it worth it? Like because you can go get a job and make money.
Right, but at the same time, if you think about it, if something gets hard and you quit and you go to your plan B, and if something goes wrong with the plan B, you would quit again. Like it doesn't make sense to quit in the first place.
That's it, dude. That's it. I need to like write that on my wall at home or something. Because you're right. It's like you quit plan A to go to plan B. And the problem with going somewhere, going anywhere, like I talk about I hear people all the time. They're like, I need to like have a fresh start. I just need to move. It's like, okay, what's the problem with moving or getting a new relationship? What's the problem with that? You go with you wherever you go. Whether you go to plan B, you go to a new house, you go to a new relationship, like you go with you. You go to a business idea. That's the problem. It's all hard, right? So I love that, dude. I think that's what that does for me too. It's like sticking with it when you like when you're down yourself. Like there's a lot of people probably in this group that before this call, you're like, man, am I gonna really be able to do this real estate thing? Am I wasting my time hopping on these calls? Is this something I can actually do? Is this just something they talk about? Like that's real life. Do you think I
Yeah.
don't ask myself that question when I'm sitting with people that are doing 100 times more than me? Then I'm like, how am I ever gonna get to that? Can I really do that? Is that just them? Do they have something special about them? No, they just stayed in the game long enough to figure it out. That's it. There's nothing
Yeah.
special about me or
And
Amir
and
or Griffin. None
mhm.
of us.
And
None of it.
yeah, for anyone who's here, and if y'all haven't done your first deal, or if you have done your first deal and looking for the next one, uh guys, it is possible. Like I believe in every single one of y'all. I wasn't supposed to be do this business. Like I am not allowed to do this business. I still managed to do it. So if I did that, why y'all can't? Like it is possible.
Love it, dude. Last question for you, and then I'll open it up for anyone else to ask questions.
Yeah.
Because you said that, right? I think that's really encouraging, right, for people to hear that. But for the people that are still doubting after you say that, right? Because you may say that, and they're like, yeah, it's nice for you to say that now that you are where you are. But like practically, like how do they get over that fear or that doubt in themselves? Like, what would you say to them to maybe get started? What's a step they could take this week?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. Like we may actually like see watch videos on YouTube and be like, so this is so easy. Why is it just not working? The fact is that the concept of real estate wholesaling is simple, but itself or the job itself is not easy. Like y'all have to put in the work. It's just doing something over and over and over again and not getting bored of it or tired of it. Uh, it's not that complicated. Y'all are not trying to send rockets to the space. It's just numbers. Uh, if y'all are not getting deals, it's either, and correct me Evan if I'm wrong. I think the most important thing that we are not getting deal is our numbers. Because when I look back during the time, and when I'm saying numbers, I mean KPIs, like how many leads you have, how many offers you make, how many contracts you get, how many of those contracts you close, and then I even as of now, when I look back during the time that I was not able to get a deal, it was just my numbers. So I think if you
That's
all hit
good.
your numbers, like if I were to give you all an example with agents, uh, let's say y'all's chances of getting a deal is 1%. It can't be zero because it's possible, right? I'll give you I'll give you some numbers just to make more sense. It's not zero. It is. Let's just be fair and let's say it's 1%. If y'all make 100 offers, you'll eventually get one person to say yes to your offer. And if y'all
That's
manage
right.
to make 100 offers a month, that would be a deal a month.
That's
So
right. No, that's pretty standard. I mean, like how many offers? I mean, because a lot of times what we do is we do like outreach, so we'll text them, right? And then they'll text us back. And then the people that send us opportunities, we make them an offer. Amir, how many offers do you think we have to make before we get a contract? If you had to guess, just rough ballpark.
I mean, our ratio is different,
Sure.
but like for someone like it can't like your chances of like getting a deal can't be less than 1%. It's zero, and then
Sure.
it would be impossible. But we all know it's
Mhm.
possible. Like other people is doing it. So worst case
Sure.
scenario, it would be 1 out of 100.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't know anybody that's made 100 offers on the market and hasn't gotten a contract.
Yeah,
So I think if you can take that away from this call, it's like, are you willing to put in work? And then it's like, how many calls do you have to make every day to do that? Right? Do the math. And you realize it's really not as many as you think. Right? And what would that do to your confidence if you got your first deal? I think that's what you got to think about. So I think that's really practical, Amir. Appreciate you sharing all that, dude. So let's kind of open it up for questions. What questions do you have for Amir or me or Griffin or anyone else on here? How can we help?
Yeah, I got one. Kind of talking about what you spoke on not so long ago about your numbers. Um, my biggest thing right now is like, what do you do as far as estimating like the costs and repairs for said deals, right? If you're going to turn around and give to your buyers, right? So could you talk a little bit about that? How you go about that process when working your numbers?
for
Hmm.
sure. Yeah, you want to answer that?
Go for it.
Sure. So it goes back to the first, I guess, to the thing that I mentioned. If y'all can get a good relationship with an actual cash buyer, they'll tell you what their numbers are. And in the early days, you're probably looking deals for that cash buyer, right? But there are like a standards that I'm sure y'all can find like YouTube videos on different channels, which actually kind of like put them in three different boxes, which would be like light rehab, cosmetic rehab, and then heavy rehab, and then again in order by order, light rehab would be just carpet and paint, uh, and then for each they have like three different or for it really depends on the square footage of the house. For example, light rehab for properties that are less than 1,500 square feet, they would just have a fixed number for that from 1,500 to 2,000, another fixed number, 2,000 to 2,500. Same thing goes with cosmetic, which is, uh, carpet, paint, kitchen, bath. And then same thing goes for heavy rehab, which is basically all the rest or everything, a full god rental. That's a good start. I would say making the offer itself, because the majority of time y'all are gonna be, especially with the properties on market, y'all are gonna be way off than their asking price. So my recommendation would be don't spend too much, and I still struggle with this, and that's probably one of the reasons they like big players say that they would hire like people who are not in real estate or who were not in real estate before, so that they don't know how to comp, and they don't like they just do what they ask them to do. They would give them a calculator or something just to not spend too much time before making an offer. uh so my recommendation would be not to spend too much on it. Just get an estimate, make the offer, which is the most important thing. And when you're like having that conversation with the agent specifically, it's just not about if you're doing like on market properties, it's just not about the property itself and getting that property under contract. It's just more for them to be able to build that, or for you to be able to build that connection with them and that relationship, so that they can send you more deals, especially pocket listings.
Yeah, that's good, dude. I'm also going to send this in the chat for everyone. This is what we use to. I figured this might be helpful if you want to just like copy and paste this and put this into like a separate document for yourself. This is what
Yeah.
we use like when we're on the phone with people to like estimate the actual like specific cost. Does that help, Dennis? For like specific stuff, is that kind of what I'm looking for?
No, this is perfect. Yeah. Again,
Sweet.
like the deal I was working on, talking about last week, like this gives me like the rule of thumb or a base, if you will. And I get what you're saying, Amir, as far as knowing your buyers to kind of guide you, especially if you have a go-to buyer. I would imagine you will learn. Okay, he's probably going to say that this costs this and this. As you do more deals, you kind of build that up. But no, that's
That's right.
perfect.
Cool, dude. Awesome. Yeah, it's not that, and those numbers aren't going to be perfect either. That's for like a standard house that's 1,500 to
Yeah,
2,000 square feet, something like
just some
that. But
just
it's
a good
close.
base. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what stuff actually cost us too, because we started really looking at it like when we as we were flipping more, and I realized that yeah, some things are more expensive than you think, and some things are actually way cheaper than I thought originally. So those were definitely pretty accurate.
perfect.
Cool. What other
Fantastic.
questions we got?
I
Yeah,
I
man.
got I got a question. On these sub two deals that you guys do, what I guess sub two that's assumable loans, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. What
Yeah.
percentage do you guys typically have to put down to take over a mortgage?
So on a sub two deal, I would say that whenever you're talking to someone about it, whether it's a seller, an agent, or a buyer, I would separate um, assumable from responsibility to take over the payments. So I think you're right to hesitate a little bit on that because like an assumption is when you go to the bank and qualify, right? You ask them, hey, I want to take over the existing terms, but I'm going to put it in my name. That's the difference. I'm going to show you my bank statements, credit, all that kind of stuff. That's an official assumption. Sub two is when you're just saying, hey, I'm going to purchase this property and we're agreeing that this mortgage that's in your name, we are going to leave in place and I'm going to make payments on that mortgage. So that's like the difference between those two. When you actually get a deal sub two, um, I mean, we had a seller one time pay us $40,000 to take their house sub two. So there's no like black or white, like you have to pay this or anything. Generally, I would say you want to be at least under 10% of what the property is worth if they have a good rate. So like if they have a 2-3% rate on a $200,000 house, assuming that there's like very little equity, you would want to be under $20,000 ideally. And that's probably what your buyer is going to be willing to pay if you're, assigning these deals. I don't know if that helps at all, but that's kind of like a rough starting point.
Now that helps for sure. And
Cool.
and for one of these deals to be attractive to you, how much equity are you looking for them to have in the property?
That's a good question too. I think there's a lot of people that will pay. I mean, we're closing on one on Friday that we're assigning to someone because it's in Alabama, and I'm not trying to buy more rentals right now. But we're assigning to him, and it's basically for what it's worth. So like, there's really not much equity at all, but the rate is like 3.2% or something like that. So it makes sense for him to pay. I think he's paying like 20,000 or 25,000 or something like that. But generally, like I would want anywhere from like 20 to like 50,000 in equity would be like a decent sub two deal, probably. Yeah. So definitely get the best deal you can price wise. And we could talk about that too, like how to, if you ever want to, talk on the phone or meet up for coffee or whatever, we could talk about like how you make that pitch to a seller, like when you can't get it as a cash deal, like you're not quite there, you can't negotiate that down. It's like how do you switch to terms? And so you can kind of get the best of both worlds. Like you can get a good price, so you get some equity, and then you also get the interest rate too. So great question. What else we got?
I have one. I was gonna ask,
What's up, dude?
what's good? How you doing? I
Good
was
man. It's
gonna,
good to see you.
good to see you. I was gonna ask, is essentially what questions should I ask, or what type of information should I get from a seller for creative finance deal? Because I met this lady, talked on the phone. I started taking action last week. One of my first leads, a lady in Pulaski,
Nice.
Tennessee. She has a multifamily apartment building right by a college in Pulaski, and then she was already had terms for it, and I froze up. I didn't know what to ask. It was just crazy. She was speaking so fast, and she texted me all the terms, but I just really didn't know what to ask. And when I got the call, I was like, I didn't ask like how much she charges for rent or nothing, so I kind of froze up.
Dude, I love it, man. Dude, congrats on taking action, man. How did that
I
feel?
appreciate it. It felt great.
Yeah.
It felt great. I was up here like fist bumping and screaming. So I was like, let's go. I got turned. But like,
I love it, dude. That's huge, bro. That's
and I have
huge.
another lead, a property manager. Just I posted in a Facebook group saying I was looking for something. He texted and said he's a property manager and the landlord was thinking about selling too. But it's basically turnkey. So I'm thinking that might be a creative finance like lead too up front. But I just want to know what question I should ask ahead of time.
Nice, dude. I love it.
Thank you.
All right, I love your energy too, man. You're gonna crush it.
Appreciate it.
So these are the questions that I would. These are the main things you need to ask. I just typed it in the chat. So you need to know their mortgage, which would include the balance as well as ideally, you know, the interest rate or the monthly payment or both, right? Usually the interest rate's good enough to start. Then you want to know walk away. So how much do they want to walk away with cash in their pocket after taking over the payments? Third, you want to know, is it behind on payments at all? Like, are there any kind of arrears or anything like that? Right. Fourth, you want to know the repairs, which you said this one's turnkey. And then five, you want to know ARV. So like, what's the property worth when it's fixed up? And it sounds like it already is fixed up. So you just want to know, what is it worth? If you know those five numbers, like if you texted me or something and you're like, hey, Evan, I have a question about a property. If you send me those five numbers, then I can pretty much tell you if it's like a deal or not.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good.
So that's how I would look at it for sure. Yeah,
Awesome.
great question, dude. Hmm. What else we got?
Hey
I'm
Amir,
sure. Yes, sir.
so you're looking for properties on market now, and I'm curious, like, what's your process to find like deals on market? Because obviously in foreclosures we rank them based on equity. Are you
Hmm.
looking at equity when you're on market, or do you just call kind of everyone that's been sitting on the market for a long time?
Um, yeah. So as of now, we're not like making offers on the properties that are on the market unless the agent brings it to us. I'm sorry, it's like 4 a.m. I can't even talk. Like brings it to us saying that, uh, hey, I have this deal sitting on the market. I'm having a hard time selling it because we're just overwhelmed with the properties that are off market to where we don't even have time to make offers on the on market ones. And like pocket listings are more valuable than the ones that are on the market for sure.
Oh, so you're just reaching out to agents and asking if they have like a
Mhm.
deal that's off market. Got you. Okay, cool. So would you recommend someone like getting into it? Would you recommend that they go on market, or do they just reach out to as
Oh
many
yeah.
agents as possible?
I mean, it, I would say because at the beginning, uh, if you start just talking to the agents and asking them to send you like off market properties if they come across one, it would take you a long time to like come across a few from them to be able to make offers because you have to like make offers. You need to make offers every day to be able to, we talked about this earlier, 100 offers a month. So you need to make like five offers a day. That would be like 25 a week and then 100 a month. So in the early days, you don't have much lead from the agents that you're reaching out to as far as like, pocket listings. And what a good source on market properties are that you can just go find a lead for free and just make an offer on it.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
So I would
Thanks, man.
say yeah, for sure. It's a combination of both. If you're starting out, I would make an offer on the properties that are on the market, ideally needing work. And then I would just try to randomly call agents and just let them know that you're looking for such a thing. So whenever they come across something, they would let you know. And the important thing about that is that they just forget. Like they talk to 100 more people a day, just like you. So you need to stay in touch with them.
Got it. That's awesome. Good advice.
For sure.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You're right about that. They're gonna forget about you. They're probably not gonna save your number. So like anything you can do to get them to save your number a certain way where they'll remember it, for example. Um, like you could be like, I don't know, something funny. If you have a good conversation, like, hey, say my name is Evan, like your favorite buyer or like your only buyer. that kind of thing. Only buyer moving forward or something like that. It's just kind of funny. It's like maybe they're more willing to save it. Like I think things like that
Yeah.
can like actually um, do more for you than you think. Like these little steps that are more like human, um, as well as like how you're reaching out to them too. Like, do you sound like everyone else? What do you think everyone else sounds like? Like, um, be a little more intentional about how you're texting or leaving voicemails. All right, like, 'cause you got to think about it. Like you just said it, they have so many conversations every week with investors and blah blah blah. And so, like, what is going to make you different? You know, and maybe I would love for one of y'all maybe to answer that question. Like, what's something you could do this week talking to an agent that would make you stand out compared to everyone else they're talking to?
I'll say not just ask like for to receive from them, kind of like ask them how can I bring value to you, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Love it. That's great. Really
Mm-hmm.
good.
Funny,
Hmm.
this
Yeah,
might
I
be
gotta.
more of a long-term play, but I know a lot of agents do this where like they'll send them some type of like knickknack or little gift every like
Hmm.
holiday or something just to keep them in mind. And it'd be funny if you did it in the opposite way. Obviously, more of a
Yeah.
long-term play, but if you sent them like a little something, a little card every now and then, I
Mm.
think that would stay top of mind instantly. That'd be such a
I
good idea, I
love
think.
that, dude.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool. Yeah, you could even do like I did this the other day with like I do this with some of the title companies that we work with. Um, I have like a list of people, like agents specifically, that I reach out to like every like 2 weeks, and I'll kind of cycle through like a text, like a voice memo, like even just like a quick video, just being like, "What's up?" like that kind of stuff. Just with people that I know, we've done a lot of deals together. I also do the same thing. This may sound, some people may not like this, but it is what it is. It helps me to do it. I have the same thing with my friends, like people that are close friends of mine. I have a list of people that I go through every single week and I reach out and text them because, like, if you don't do it, it's like I just noticed I wasn't doing it. And then I was like, well, do I want to like just not do it or do I want to like actually do it even though maybe I feel like it's a little weird to like have a list to text, but it's like it's worth it because then they end up texting you back and then all of a sudden you start getting texts more often throughout the week and they're like, hey, how are you doing, man? And it's like how you build like relationships, you just be intentional, you know. So same thing with the agents. I love that. um but yeah, you can even send like a gift card, like a DoorDash gift card or something with someone that you've done a deal with or something like that. That goes a long way for sure. What other questions we got? Probably got time for one or two more. These are really good.
I'm sure Julie has one.
Come on, Julie. At least tell us how everything's going. Tell us how real
Yeah.
estate's going. You can be honest, even if there's been no progress or whatever. Just share what's on your mind.
Um, well, actually, my question was, do you guys ever do like get wholesale deals for land or anything like that?
Yeah. We actually have one that we are working on now.
Ooh, okay. I'm actually looking at doing a mobile, like a modular home strategy. So land plus a modular home. That's kind of what I'm looking at. And my strategy is probably Sumner, Truesdale, kind of out towards Cookville areas and down south a little bit. So, but as you were just talking, Evan, about what you can kind of do, I was like, I've been, obviously there for land and stuff like that, sending out postcards and stuff like that. I'm like, why couldn't you just do that to agents and just flip it around just to make sure that you're connecting with them? I mean, I'm I'm a consultant in the pharmaceutical industry and handwritten notes go a long way. So, and
That's
nobody
really
does
good.
notes anymore, but
Exactly.
Mm,
Yeah.
they go a long way.
that's sweet. I like
Yeah,
that.
let's talk
I
about
like that. You're
land.
gonna be good. Yeah.
So
Y'all,
you
y'all, y'all should talk about it.
yeah, you're looking for just to make sure I got it correctly. You're looking for a house and a land next to it. I guess
Nope,
maybe
I'm just looking for land and
uh-huh.
like half acre to probably up to 5 acres if I'm going to subdivide it, but a half acre to an acre, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
putting a modular home on it. Obviously, not like within city limits of Lebanon or Mount Juliet or anything like that, but on the outskirts where people still want to have a little bit of land and they need a sweet spot because the prices are so expensive now they can't afford a home that's like four or $500,000. I want to keep it around that 250 to 350. It all depends upon the land value though. I don't know. Is that crazy?
No, not at all. So are you buying this yourself, or are you just looking for somebody else?
Oh, I want to buy it myself and
Okay,
modular on it and then sell it. I'll,
nice.
I'll need financing, but I have some people that'll help me with that too. So
Perfect. So it was I caught Lebanon. What other areas you would like to be in?
basically, outskirts of Wilson County, Sumner, um, Truesdale. It's like if you're basically like, I guess 109 west or 65 to the east towards Cookville is what I'm looking at. Between 40 and like even into Kentucky a little bit. So that north central Tennessee area. There's tons of mobile homes around here, and people need good quality housing. And a modular home can be put on a residential zoned property in most cases or agricultural. So it's a kind of like a little sweet spot into a market that people need. I'm not into co-living. I don't want to, I know that's a big thing right now, but
Like you're saying, like having like 9 people in your house doesn't sound fun.
what did you say?
Said having 9 people in a house doesn't sound fun to manage.
I don't think living in an 8 by 8 room sounds fun. It's
Yeah,
not for
probably
me.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think
that
it is
strategy
either.
is not for me. I've tried it 7 times. I tried to make it work 7 times, guys, and could never get it to cash flow in and
Wow,
around Nashville. And so I went in another way.
nice. Are these houses that you like were looking at buying, or ones that you already owned, or one that you subleased, or like what was it
Ones
like?
that I had been working with a guy who bought them wholesale and he was renovating them. And even if I took out the living room and stuff like that, I still couldn't make them whole. I still couldn't make them cash flow. So I think he over renovated them as part of the problem. So
Mhm. Well, I feel like y'all are probably missing something, which is like you should have made the kitchen one of the rooms, so they just sleep on the countertop, because then you get extra revenue, which is basically
I
which is
just
basically
don't.
how they act like you should do. They're like, you sleep on the countertop. That's going to be a room right here over the vanity. Closet's going to be a room.
You guys in the women's real estate investment network, I'm part of that. It's crazy how many people are doing this right now. But it's just not for me. So, and that's okay.
You forgot the
What's
porch
the
and the
way of?
roof, Evan.
Yes, that's true. That's the 10th bedroom. That's right.
Every square foot
Yeah.
matters.
Well, people have
That's
even
true.
added on top. So,
Oh wow. You
Yo.
just sleep. No, 11th dude. 11th guy gets a discount, but he sleeps on the roof,
yeah,
just on top of it.
on the roof, right?
And every
If it's
day he
raining,
jumps
we'll bring
jumps
the
off
tarp out. Yeah, that's right.
jumps off the roof.
That's great. Then you find the cash flow. Then you don't have to worry about actually trying to find good deals. You can just buy whatever you want.
Yeah, you can replace the HVAC every month.
That's right. Oh, that's good, man. Well, I think that's all that I had. If anyone else has anything, feel free to share. If not, hold your peace. Amir, thanks for your time, brother. Thanks for
Absolutely.
sharing
Yeah.
sharing everything and being vulnerable with them. And it's inspiring to me every time I hear and think about your story. It's kind of a good reminder for me to
Thank
see how
you.
far you've come. Kind of I forget that sometimes because like you're so impressive to me and everyone on our team that I forget like, oh, this is once a guy that like literally barely spoke English. Like that's
Mhm.
insane. So I hope y'all see this as an encouragement. I'll post this too. And make sure if you are interested in the repairs and all that, make sure you copy and paste that before you leave real quick. I'll give everyone like 10 seconds because I think that's probably a good thing to have. So awesome. Cool. Y'all message us if you got anything this week you need help with.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great week.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.